It all kicked off one ordinary evening after work, though nothing about what followed would be ordinary. I noticed something was off with Lisa, my wife of 5 years. She wasn't herself, distant, preoccupied, like her body was there, but her mind had wandered someplace far away. At first, I couldn't quite put a name to it, but there was a weird tension hanging in the air between us, something that hadn't been there before. Looking back, the signs had been creeping in for a few weeks. She was suddenly working late a lot more, practically glued to her phone. And whenever I asked about her day, she had this guilty look in her eyes, fleeting but impossible to miss. Her answers, polished over, rehearsed. Still, I brushed it off, told myself she was just stressed, probably overwhelmed at work. Maybe I was just reading too much into things, or so I hoped. Then it happened, one night, clear as day. She'd left her phone on the kitchen counter, screen facing down like she always did lately. A message popped up, and curiosity got the best of me. I reached for the phone and unlocked it. One glance. That's all it took. Can't wait to see you tonight. 9 p.m. at our usual place. I'll get there early and set everything up. And just like that, my stomach dropped. A wave of disbelief hit me, followed by something heavier. I tried to steady myself, to quiet the storm that was suddenly building inside. The name was unfamiliar, completely out of the blue. But one thing was painfully clear. I couldn't ignore this. The next morning, I played it cool. Didn't say a word. I smiled, I nodded, I acted like nothing was wrong while my mind spun in circles. Should I confront her outright? Or let the pieces fall where they may? That evening, she casually mentioned she'd be meeting up with some friends. Right. I didn't press. What was the point? The lie felt thinner than ever, barely holding itself together. She took her time getting ready, like she was preparing not just her makeup, but her whole story. As she walked out the door, I'd already made up my mind. I was going to follow her. I needed the truth, whatever it turned out to be. I drove to the restaurant where I had a hunch she'd meet him. Parked just far enough to stay out of sight, I sat there in the dark, heart hammering against my ribs like it was trying to break free. My head was spinning, rage, confusion, dread, all tangled into one messy knot. What if I actually saw her with someone else? What then? What would I say? What would I do? I had no plan, just a storm of raw emotion tearing through me. Time crawled by, and then I saw her. She walked in, glancing nervously over her shoulder, like she was making sure no one was watching. She wasn't dressed like someone out for a quick bite with friends. No, this was different. She'd made an effort, it was obvious. She looked like she was meeting someone who mattered. And then there he was, tall, dark-haired, self-assured. He stood near the entrance, cool as anything, grinning when he spotted her. She walked right up to him like they'd done this before. My stomach churned, a sick twist of jealousy and hurt. I stayed put, frozen behind the wheel, watching from the shadows, heart in pieces. I couldn't take it anymore. I stepped out of the car, legs moving on autopilot. I didn't know what I was going to say, or if I could even get the words out. But I had to see it with my own eyes. I had to be sure. And then something weird happened. Just as I got close to the door, the guy turned around and walked out. Brushed right past me, no glance, no reaction, like I didn't even exist. I stopped dead in my tracks. Was he ducking out to avoid being seen? Heading to the restroom? Or had he just left? I hesitated, then pushed the door open, barely breathing. There she was. Lisa, sitting alone, fidgeting with her phone, eyes darting around like she was waiting for someone or afraid of who might show up. The second she spotted me, the blood drained from her face. Her mouth opened slightly and she stood, stammering. What? What are you doing here? Her voice was thin, shaky, but the look on her face said it all. Panic. Guilt. Like a kid caught red-handed. For a moment, neither of us said a word. Just stood there, locked in this silent, miserable standoff. Her eyes were pleading, trying to spin a story before I could speak. But there was no room left for stories. No more excuses. The time for pretending was over. I walked over to the table, my voice low but steady, each word deliberate. I know Lisa. I know about him. She went ghost white, tried to hold it together, but I saw the cracks forming. You don't know anything, she replied, her voice trembling, brittle like glass. It was a weak lie, and we both knew it. Her eyes flicked toward the door, still hoping, maybe fearing, he'd come back. But he didn't. I leaned in a little, never taking my eyes off her. I know you've been seeing someone, I said, my tone quiet but cutting. And don't insult me by pretending this is the first time. I see it now. I've seen it for a while. You thought you could keep it hidden, but you can't hide from this anymore. You have to face me now. Something in me cracked as I said those words. The hurt started spilling out, no matter how hard I tried to contain it. She looked like she might crumble. I'm sorry, she whispered. Please, just let me explain. Her hand reached for mine, but I pulled away. Don't, I said, colder than I'd ever been with her. I'm not here for your excuses. I just want the truth. That's all I've ever wanted. And then it all unraveled. She broke down right there, the mask slipping completely. The tears came fast, and with them, the confessions. Every detail, every lie, every moment I hadn't been enough for her. How it started off as just a friend, then grew into something else. The secret messages, the late nights, the rehearsed stories, all of it came pouring out in a flood of regret and shame. I just stood there listening, my body frozen, but my heart tearing itself apart. I never thought it had come to this. Never believed she could do something like this to me. I loved her. I trusted her. And she burned that trust to the ground. I didn't know what to feel. I wanted to yell, to throw something, to make her hurt like I was hurting. But at the same time, some small piece of me, maybe the part that hadn't caught up yet, just wanted to walk away quietly with whatever pride I had left. I turned to go. She grabbed my arm again, frantic. Please, she cried. Don't walk away. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for any of this to happen. Her tears were real now, raw and ugly. But I'd seen too much, felt too much. You made your choice, I said, my voice rough but final. Now I have to make mine. And with that, I walked out. The restaurant door swung shut behind me, thud, like a gavel. The sound echoed in my chest. I didn't know where I was going or what came next. But I knew deep down that whatever it wouldn't include her. She called me over and over that night, left voicemails, begging me to forgive her, swearing it had all been a mistake. But I didn't answer, couldn't. The pain ran too deep, and no amount of sorry could pull me back from that edge. One thing was certain. I'd been blind, maybe even willfully so, but never again. I was done being the fool. From now on, no one would ever have that kind of power over me. Cheating Secrets podcast like me,